2, 3.
Yeah.
I was an intern.
The first project I ever worked on with Flash.
My first, stab at the industry. It was a very immature industry.
The legendary bouncing ball tutorial.
It was end of '96 or early '97.
We had Internet Explorer entering the scene, stealing market share from Netscape.
We animated a kangaroo that hopped around the ad.
And it totally opened my eyes.
We had all these different HTML versions, right? And you had to make your sites conform.
And the closer you put your mouse to the kangaroo, the more it hopped away from it.
It was the simplest thing. It was a text animation. I mean, it's something you've seen on every web page over the last 10 years, somebody trying to, do a Flash intro. I spent the entire weekend figuring out how they did it and doing it myself, and I came into work on Monday and I was like, okay, this is what the web is going to be.
Before I got started with Macromedia or with Director or with Flash, I actually used to use Adobe and Acrobat and create digital paper, digital pages with their PDF technology. Basically taking old printed books, and we had to scan them in because they weren't digital to start with, and then converted them digital and make magazines and all those sorts of things. And then the new technology continued to evolve, and we switched to Macromedia and Director, and that turned into Flash, and that turned into the internet, and all kinds of crazy things.
It's an admin tool for configuring little retail widgets. Allows you to sort of kind of investigate qualities of products online for retail administrators to be able to put up on their site.
About a year ago, we built a game called Pukey the Swarm, which was sort of the first real 3D Flash game that I know about. And it was really good, except for I kind of randomly chose the name, and I found out later that in some small country in southern Asia, Pukey is actually slang for female genitalia, which kind of changed the whole gist of the game. It was kind of fun. Interesting email, definitely.
The Vongo application, short for video on the go, you get basically video on demand to your desktop or online. When we worked with Stars and we came up with the Vongo brand and what it stood for, that had implications not only in terms of color, but how things moved, how they animated, what the interactivity was like.
Flash Video plays an interesting role in the Stars Vongo project. All the previews are synchronized between the application and the online website, and that's all Flash Video.
It's really the only environment or the only sort of platform that allows us to do that.
At the time, one of the biggest projects that I've ever worked on, in fact, was a live e-learning system where instructors at KnowledgeNet could teach classes live from the recording studio within the building. And we used a Flash interface to serve up all the slides and everything like that, and there was a lot of interactivity involved in that.
I've been doing a lot of interesting stuff with webcams, where I can actually detect people on webcams and have them interact just with camera interactions.
If it was ever seen as something that had this scourge of just being this little animation tool, it's clearly been wiped out by the kind of things that people can now see and download publicly.
I mean, visually, being able to do drop shadows and bevels and glows and things like that, it's just, the interfaces have become so much more rich, and being able to apply that to dynamic data is just so cool.
It's a long journey, like many things.
I mean, the reason I do Flash is because I can really exercise both sides of my, schizophrenic personality.
Oh, I'm not creating something conceptually in code that I have to keep track of in my head. You actually were able to make things first and sort of get the basic traits down of your object, and then explore code alternatives if you wanted to. And that was just amazing.
I can, do development one day, I can do some design stuff the next day.
Because I really, honestly can't think of any other tool that could let you do that, to sort of really let someone who is more of a right brain person enter the left brain space, or vice versa.
I can do, motion graphics or sound work. I mean, it's just so cool.
The ability to bring in still photography, live action, video, broadcast design. All of the Adobe applications are going to snap together now that it's all one big company, Adobe and Macromedia. And what that means is that our workflow allows us to be completely unfettered by technological limitations and just think about what is our creative goal and let the tools just help us get there.